Hello, welcome back. Zach of Rivia here, and we're going to talk, as promised, about upgrading your Skellige starter deck so that you can continue to climb up to pro rank. Now, as I was thinking about this process, I realized that you've got to do something as you're coming up with the scraps for each card that you're going to craft. So I decided to make this kind of more of a fluid process of how to upgrade in stages and what my priorities are for upgrading this deck so that you don't need to immediately have all the cards for this to work. We're going to talk about the concepts in building the Skellige Warriors deck. Warriors have been good since July last year, so they've been like on the meta since then in some form or fashion. So the Warrior package is still excellent and it's going to carry you for a while, and you can continue to work towards tier 1 Warrior decks as you grow. So this should be able to carry you pretty far. So right now we're looking at our starter deck, and we've also got our deck builder here, and we can see that I have crafted 3 gold or legendary specifically cards for the purpose of upgrading this deck. The first one I crafted was Herald on Crate. I like him as a big tempo play. He pulls a warrior from your graveyard, and he also, if you have devotion, turns into a veiled unit that has a passive engine. Well, not passive engine, it's an engine as well, because every time you play a warrior, it damages a random unit. So he's pretty dangerous, and we are going to go for devotion as soon as we can. Then the second one I crafted was Blood Eagle. This is a great card for consistency, and let me tell you, when I first started, I did not realize how important consistency is. You want to find your cards. Blood Eagle is exactly the way you're going to find your cards. Because we're going for this warrior package, a lot of your cards are going to be able to be pulled out by this card, and then if you have Bloodthirst 3 or a Death Blow potentially of 2 points, and you can read those over here. Death Blow basically is just if you kill the unit, and Bloodthirst we've talked about in the last video. It's going to pull the unit from your deck, and you can pull your legendary cards, legendary warrior cards, if you have one of these 2 conditions. So that's going to help you find your golds. So let's look at my final upgrade deck. It's not final, it's always in process. You're always improving these things. So our third craft was Heimdall. I didn't talk about that, but Heimdall is basically an 8-point body card that goes down and damages randomly along a row based on the number of units on that row. So if there's 5 units, it's going to damage randomly 5 times across that row. That'll make more sense when you see it. Now, some of the gold cards that we found in kegs, we're going to utilize as well. You're going to find different gold cards. Don't worry about it. We're going to prefer warriors in this deck, so look for those. I used him for a while before I upgraded. He's a good tempo play. As long as you have Bloodthirst 3, you're getting an 11-point body, but I was able to replace him with some better cards, I think. So we're not playing him anymore. I found Sigvault. He's a pretty good little engine. I like him. He's creepy. He's just standing in the shadows for no reason. But basically, he's going to ping enemy units once every turn for either 1 or 2 points, depending on whether he's damaged. We still have Lugos in the deck for now. I found Skjordal Drummond, and I would advise you not to put this in your deck until you get Devotion. Devotion simply means you have no neutrals in the deck. You can check that by selecting under the faction. I'll move for a second here. Under the faction little setting here in your deck builder, you click Skellige, and you only have cards that are in the Skellige faction. That's Devotion. So we're going to keep that checked right now just to avoid confusion. Switch back over here. So we're running Champion's Charge, found that in a keg. It goes great with your leader. You're putting 3 Bloodthirsts on the board, so instantly you can remove any card, any unit from the board with Champion's Charge. So highly recommend if you find it. It's a good card to include. You've still got Skjall in the deck. It's just a good tempo play, and he'll probably get replaced as we find more of these warriors that we'd want to include Gerd, found him in a keg. He's just a good tempo play. Basically, he just damages. He's got an adrenaline condition to where if you have above those cards, like 4 or more in your hand, he's going to damage along a row, 1 point each, and then create a siren, a damage siren. So he's putting Bloodthirst on the board for you, which is going to help a lot of your cards. Donar's here. Can't remember if he's in the original deck or not, but he's easy to find. Generally speaking, he's a 9-point play, 4 points of removal. Very good card. We're using War of Clans, which is a devotion card as well. You definitely want to have devotion with it because it's very easy to misplay it or not find your death blow without devotion. So don't include it until you have devotion either. But basically, he's going to allow you to replay one of these 4 provision cards. And these 4 provision cards are very nice, so we definitely like replaying them. Still have a couple great swords. I've included the Bear Witchers because I was lucky enough to find Hernkaduk. Hernkaduk simply plays one of these 3 Bronze Witchers. We generally like the Bear Witcher because it plays for 8 points when you have 4 cards or less in your hand. And you can use Hernkaduk to heal it for 2 points. And if you've got another damage unit on the other side, you're basically playing for an extra 4 points there. Just really good point plays. I still like the Berserker for now. He synergizes with putting Bloodthirst on the board. Plus, he's just good value. 2 longships, good engines. Raiders are absolutely a must, especially with Herald. These are going to be your main target. You're going to want to get one out early in the game. That sets up Herald for round 3 or 2, either way. And they're just great. They're just great plays. Gutting Slash for removal. We've got our Hunter still. Love the Hunter. Warrior. He's great for pulling from the graveyard with War of Clans. Combine that, you're getting 5 points of removal with a 3-point body. And that's excellent. So we also like him. Can also pull him out with War of Clans to kind of get some Bloodthirst on the board. And he can also, if it's the only card on the board and it's 5 points, War of Clans can remove it with either of these cards. So those are great. I also kind of want to briefly look at other options if you find them in kegs. We do like Morkvarg, although he's not a warrior anymore. He used to be. So you can't pull him with Blood Eagle, but he is a good card for punishing tall units. Since you don't have Geralt anymore, it might be worth considering. Tirgvi. Next, if you find him, you might want to include him. He is a warrior, and he is a good tempo play. He puts Rupture on the opponent, and if unanswered, like they don't purify it or put a shield on it or something, it's going to damage itself by its base power. We're not getting into that right now. Hjalmar can banish a unit from the graveyard and damage the enemy unit by that amount. Its base power, essentially. So great to set up a great sword in the graveyard and then basically throw it at the enemy for 10 points of damage. Excellent card. Requires a little bit of setup, but still recommend it if you find it. So you're going to be opening kegs, so these are a lot of these are good options. Berna might be good because everybody's going to find those skirmishers. So I'm just looking at not owned. I need to look at owned and not owned. But yeah, you've got skirmishers down here. You can discard, and when discarded, they come back out of the graveyard. So it's a good tempo play if you find Berna. In general, also good for consistency and thinning the deck. So you'll find your golds more often. Now, Vabjorn. Vabjorn is, I would say, you may even want him sooner once you have Blood Eagle than maybe Heimdall. I wanted another power play, lots of points on the board, or lots of points essentially. So I went ahead with Heimdall, but you can bet my next craft will be Vabjorn. He just pulls a raid card from your deck, which we have War of Clans, we have Champion's Charge, and Gutting Slash. If we find Raiding Fleet at some point in a keg, you can bet we're including that as well because that's extra thinning. So our cards are easier to find and the tempo is faster when we play them. So Vabjorn is excellent. I did not understand when I played, when I first started playing, the value of these tutor cards. They seemed so low tempo. I was like, I don't know if I want them. But as I got better, I realized that they are excellent cards, and you're definitely going to want them. So he's my next craft whenever these scraps get up to 800 again. Just got to win some more games. Easy, easy. So there's other things in here like Gigascorp. Probably a good inclusion if you find it. Zhenge is a lock. Locks are nice. He's a 7-point body as well. So if you find it, that's also a good option. So you'll just trade maybe Skjall or some of those plays for some of these better cards. And that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and get some gameplay going. Okay. So we have an overwhelming hunger deck. Now I have seen some people running good lists. I can only assume by rank 22 if you have a list that's like tier 1, like V, that you've paid to play. We are trying to make a purely non-pay to play deck and process here, because I understand like there's nothing to that. If you just pay, you know, for kegs over and over until you get enough scraps to make your golds excellent, then yeah, you're going to win every game, and there's nothing to that. But we are trying to talk about skill and how to craft good decks one card at a time without paying any money into the system. Because we're blue card, I'm going to get rid of that for round 1. I think I'm happy with the rest of it. We did eventually rope out on the mulligans. Let's see. I think we're going to just go ahead and take this, and yeah, that seems good. Setting up the graveyard. I want more information about his deck before I start jamming, you know, engines that I want to keep. Okay, that's a miss. Well, no, that's not a misplay. That's, but we can remove that instantly with our Marauder. So that's a pretty valuable card to lose for him to just 2 bronzes. It's not necessarily a misplay, but I just think it's an awkward way to play that without any protection. Usually you want to put it behind a defender or something. Okay, we got some eggs on the board. So this is generally a Death Wish deck, and I'm glad to see we're not facing like a tier 1 V deck or something. Yeah, it's kind of hard to compete with people who've basically paid for all the cards they need for a tier 1 deck or something down at 22. Let's see. So he's got another good card on the board. Not a good card, but a Death Wish card on the board. These are things we don't necessarily want to kill. So I'm just going to drop this Great Sword. So it should get some value when he plays his next card, and the boat pings it. Okay, he's playing Beast. Okay, Beast is going to boost up to 5. That's good for him. Let's see. I think there's any creative ways we can kill that, but, well, we would have to Death Blow and pull out the Skjordal. No, we can't do that. Never mind. Beast is pretty good. Beast is pretty good. I think we don't answer it. Essentially, we could pull out Donar for 4 points of damage, but yeah, it's a waste to put it on Beast. But I think thinning the deck is the way to go here. So let's do this. That's going to help us get another ping, another boost on Greatsword. So now we've activated our Bear Witcher and Hernkaduk pulling Bear Witcher. Okay, he's passed. That's fine. Not bad getting out. Yeah, unlucky ping, but that's fine. Not bad getting out the Beast and this Weavis Incantation. That's an expensive card. Let's see, how much was that? 10 10 provision card that played for nothing. It played for 5, essentially. It did also get removal out, but I don't think baiting removal with a 10 provision card is a good idea. Let's see. Try to find some golds here. That's not bad. So now the question is, do we want to just go for last say? And we might decide we want to just dump Skellige here. Bait some tall removal, and then we can pass. Because if he doesn't have tall removal, then we actually do go tall with the leader as well, so it's probably worse. Okay. That's fine. Do I want to do anything else here? We could actually pull some tempo out, because that's a great Blood Eagle, but I'm thinking maybe not. Alright, we're just going to pass out of the round. He'll play another card, and then we'll go for the long round. Ice Giant with a boost on the Thrive. That's fine. So we will see. There are a couple Death Wish cards that we want to kind of keep in mind that he might have. I'm not sure if he will. Maybe a little early in the game for him to have crafted Manticore is a good one. I think we've got enough Bear Witchers. Oh, that's good. That's a good find. Okay. All we gotta do is pull Herald out. And that can be done by putting a Siren on the board with Gird. Okay. Okay, let's see. Have I set this up? Yeah, I have set it up. We have a potential of killing one of these with this, so I'm going to go for it. Yeah, cool. So we kill one and we make the other pretty weak. We can actually, if you boost it next turn, that's our Herald for a Blood Eagle. So that's excellent. So we'll see what he does here. Roping, roping, roping. Taking forever roping. That's a really bad Maruna. Well, that seems like a good play. I think that's going to cost him the game. Just a low to no value Maruna. Well, he doesn't pull an engine across. He doesn't deny me anything. It's less than the full value of a Maruna, which they pull over a 4-point unit. So now this could be a good Manticore, actually. Killing Herald here. Herald often doesn't survive very long. All right. So he consumed the troll, which seems like a bad plan. I'm not going to get this video recorded, am I? Oh, well. Let's hit the deck with this guy. Float the pings. Yeah, I got the wife and kid. Trying to record on a weekend is a little difficult. Now the kid's screaming for me, so Probably take a break between recording these videos or these games. Go say hey. We take that out. That is a good removal target. Cool. More held value. That's excellent. So I'm not sure what else he's got left. It's just going taller. Or not. Yeah. Getting rid of the bloodthirst. That's fine. That's good. Still got another turn on this. But since our Bear Witchers aren't active, you know what? Let's get this engine down. We've been neglecting that for a while. See what we got. Surprised we have not seen Manticore. So Gert has to be next for value. Okay, that's a good lock. Let's play him front row. Okay. Still trying to deny Bloodthirst, even though I've got it in my leader as much as I need. And that's fine. That is absolutely fine. So we got a pretty nice little lead going. Hoping we see a Goliath, kill the Goliath, pull something out of the deck. Okay. So it looks like he is not Devotion because he doesn't have the final form of Oberon, so it's not an engine. But it's still a good card. Once again, trying to deny Bloodthirst. That's cool. We're going to put more on the board with the Bear Witcher. Yeah, he's fighting to deny Bloodthirst pretty hard, but we don't have we only got like one card that cares about it. Thunderbolt. Oh my god. This guy is totally going to deny us any kind of Bloodthirst that can be obtained on the board here. Let's see. Cool. Getting full value from Hern Kaduk. Feels good. So we're in a weird situation with Heimdall and Champion's Charge and not necessarily knowing what we want to remove with Champion's Charge. So if he doesn't play a good tall unit next... Okay. So he's eating my Greatsword, I guess? It's an 11. This is not a bad Heimdall without leader. In fact, I could play it back row. Now I'll play it front row. Or we can go leader and Champion's Charge at 11, which is fine as well. Though if this is a tall punish, I think we're playing into it. I think we just go for full value. Full value on both. Let's take that out. In turn. So he does get the tall punish if he has it, but I think we still win, so it doesn't matter. And that's kind of a weird inclusion. Oh, yeah, well, I played for a lot of points, though. Dang. But we do win without playing our last card, so we're not going to beat him. And I'm going to take a little break, go say hey to the kid. We'll record 2 more. All right, we're back. We took a break, got the kids some lunch. And we're just going to do a couple more games for this video. Right now, as I'm recording this, the top 64 qualifiers are happening, which reminded me that you guys, I should be telling you guys, definitely go check out competitive matches like these qualifiers, the Open, and the Masters tournaments, all of that stuff. World Masters happening later in the year. You definitely want to be checking those out. So we're playing against the Blaze of Glory deck. This could be full out iced. At rank 22, I'm already starting to see people who have invested heavily their own money in kegs. And I don't remember if I said this on the earlier recording, but trying to make a... I'm trying to kind of give instruction on how to progress without spending your hard-earned money in this game, because there's really no need. I mean, if you have the extra and you want to support the Gwent community, the competitive community, that's how they pay for everything. So it's not a bad deal to like go pay into the game, but I also think we want to kind of keep this game available to, you know, people who don't have a ton of cash. Take that while there's not a protector on the board. So he's probably going to want to put a protector down, which would then gain him points for every time he uses a ping from the light ship, the light long ship. Okay, we don't see that coming down. Could be because I damaged it. We might go ahead and take our Blood Eagle here. It's too bad we don't have Vabjorn yet, but that's okay. I feel like using the first Blood Eagle is almost more committal than we want to be at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and just get this Greatsword down. We're going to take the ping here. Make him just slightly harder to remove, although if he's got a Gutting Slash, that sucker's dead. But, you know, I figure we could be looking at low committal so that he can pass. Okay. So we can use this to kill the Greatsword. Okay, makes sense. Nice little combo there. Let's see. So, let's see here. Warriors, we might want to get out of the graveyard, or get out of the deck. I think we just use this. Pull out our own hunter and ping. So we're looking good on points. I don't see him swinging this too fast. Okay. Pretty late boat. Could get my own engine down with Sigvault, but it's not a lot of value to get him down late in the round like this. Could also just take the Bear Witcher here to go slightly deeper into the round. That's going to bring this down to a 2. So I'm not sure I like that. If we do Sigvault, on the other hand, and it doesn't get answered, we can kill this boat next turn. So I like that, because we're looking at having another Hunter ping. He'll be 1 point, that'll be 3, and that adds up to 5. We kill the boat. But I don't think we want to commit these 3 cards, so we're probably not going too much deeper. We'll see. If he answers that. Okay, he doesn't answer it. So now the question is, would we rather kill this or that? And I think we'll go ahead and kill that. That's fine. We'll take the ping here. It's just slightly more, well, it's about even because we take the extra damage here, but could add to his tempo next turn. I don't want to do that. So he could have crafted iced pretty early, so last save might be kind of big with this list. If he crafted iced and Jetta, which may be a way to go for upgrading Skellige, you know? It may be a good way to go. It's not the way I've chosen because underneath iced in that list is a core package of warriors. And all they did was really just switch the leader and put in iced and put in the Jetta, and then boom. Mostly that deck was done. So we got good cards here, and I think we can take a long round. So we could cycle through and see what we find instead of Skjall. See, he's actually even kind of better than Skjall in a way. But let's search again. Ooh, even better. Okay. So we'll take the long round because we're both Skellige. We're going to have pretty reasonable, I'd say, equivalent trades in cards. Okay. See what he's got. Donar is the only card we've seen from him that's any good. On the other hand, we traded Sigvault. Sigvault. Creepy little Sigvault. We've got another boat. He probably has another boat. Skjall's back. We'd rather see one of these two. Okay, we can't find this with... Sorry, I got a sneeze coming on. We can't find this with Blood Eagle. So it makes sense to take mulligans, but we do have a pretty much all gold hand except our boat. The question is, do we trade Skjall here? No, that Bear Witcher is very good with this, and it probably is more valuable than Skjall, so good trade. We'll just keep it. I don't want to lose the Bear Witcher for, like, a, you know, Ancrate Warrior or some crap. Nay. Indeed. So we'll probably try to get Bloodthirst 3 or a Death Blow in order to grab Skjordal. But we're going to start with Herald. Let's make sure that our graveyard is set up. It is indeed. If you remember, we made sure to play a Raider earlier. Okay. We get our extra ping for playing the Raider. Now he can either answer it or it's going to get more value. So he probably answers it. He does indeed hit it. And then he uses his War of Clans. Makes sense. What was his bronze? Hunter? Oh, and just enough. Telling you the War of Clans is very good. Very good card. Alright, we're going to just float this ping, or this boat here and float the ping. Boat floats on water, ping floats between rounds. Okay, he kills the boat, that's fine. So we will take the Blood Eagle here. Go ahead and get our Skjordal. It's not the best Skjordal, so I will actually take your criticisms here on making that Skjordal play. However, there's not a lot of other great plays with these Adrenaline cards not being active. Yeah. Okay, oh, well, he goes ahead and takes that. That's nice. So we don't have any Bloodthirst down, and we're kind of getting into an awkward situation. I say we could do this and go for a Quartermaster. Yeah. And he can only really kill one of these two, so we'll see whichever one he kills. We'll put the Bear Witcher down on the other side. It's points, people. It's points. And it's something to do when you have awkward cards with no Bloodthirst setup. Probably my own fault for using the Skjall. Not the Skjall, the Skjordal. Skjordal. Okay. So he's decided to kill that to try and deny Bloodthirst. Or try to deny this Kaduk getting its value. I guess. Okay, that doesn't make much sense, but we'll go with that. So set up a little bit of Bloodthirst, that's good. Pass there. Or end the turn. Okay. So we're really just kind of waiting to see what kind of gold cards he's playing here. I mean, he's set up his Iced if he does have an Iced. Iced is a card that requires 3 Bloodthirst to be able to draw a card out of the deck. And then if he's Devotion, he can... Okay. It's a really good Turkey. Yep, not much to be done about that, that's for sure. So the question is, do we lose value on one of these 2 cards? Do we play Leader? I think we just lose a little value here. That's fine. We're still ahead. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, qualifiers are going on right now for Open number 2. You definitely should be watching these things, watching optimal play at high levels. You won't understand everything that's going on, but the more you watch, the more it'll start to make sense. And then you'll also learn the names of good players to watch. You can catch some of them on streams. Sometimes you just have to watch these competitions because not all the good players actually will... So we get 4 damage, sorry, thinking too. Thinking and playing. Take that 4 damage, and then Heimdall's most likely going to finish him off. So let's just do that. He also contributes to Bloodthirst while he's hurt. So now this is active. Hopefully we see a good card to remove. Ooh, he's got his Blood Eagle. So this person's upgraded their deck pretty well. We don't see a Herald. He does have the Ice, so he is going for an Iced deck here, with a couple of inclusions as he builds up to it. This is certainly one direction you can go with this. We are liking that he's stacking back row, that's nice. Okay, a lot of points. So we'll just, okay, we'll answer that. We'll see what his last card is. We still have our Leader and Heimdall, so a lot of points coming. But yeah, that's the Iced. Very flashy, very good. This guy's definitely gotten some good gold cards crafted. And a very low value Morkvarg. So let's see if this is enough. Should be. Yeah, it's definitely enough. Especially if we hit that Skjall. Oh, yeah, first one we hit. Oh, and we only hit him once too. Oh, Decimation. Very nice. Excellent. Really would have been worth it for him to push for Last Say with that back. Now, I just wanted to take a second to go over this reward book system if you haven't already. Chances are you probably figured it out. But if you haven't and you're looking to take your starter deck to the next level, assuming we're going with Skellige, because that's what we've started with in this video, we're going to be looking at finishing this reward tree, probably first and foremost, and then working on these leader trees. And we're really trying to focus on ore, scraps, and kegs, as well as these story nodes because they offer the most ore. And kegs like this one have scraps and 2 more kegs involved. I'm sorry, this is a chest, clearly. As you can see, I've generated 4 more since the last time, but I've done 30, close to 40 kegs maybe by now. That's how I found these gold cards. I gave you a list earlier of some good options, so look out for those good cards. If you find iced by any chance, you can go towards the iced deck build. You'll need something like Jetta, or you can throw the Greatsword at him, I suppose. So that's always an option. As we saw, though, it's definitely possible to beat that iced build with warriors. Just finding good cards and playing them for good value. Also knowing that last say is kind of a big deal. We got more value than they did by using Champion's Charge to destroy their Jetta. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Now, we are going first, so I generally don't like to keep War of Clans, because if you have to play in pretty deep, it can be kind of a pain. We don't have our Hearn, so we get rid of 1 Bear Witcher. Also, with the Adrenaline tag, it's kind of awkward to play them early in the round, and I generally don't like to play round 1 Skjordal. He's not a good value card round 1, so we don't play him. Now, we're playing against Mahakam Forge, which is generally dwarfs if you're playing at higher ranks. I don't know what it is here, so we're just going to have to wait and see. Dwarfs, with a W. Dwarfs, not dwarfs. D-O-R-F, as some people put it in chats and stuff. It's fun. We like mispronouncing things. This Dwarven Chariot is an engine when it's combined, especially with Berserkers. So we do see value in perhaps removing it. Which I'm going to go ahead and do that. He also combined with, over time with Bruver Hoog, which is their newer card that they got in February, I believe. A leader card. Oh, and there's another one. So, okay. But yeah, it basically makes Bruver Hoog better because he boosts all dwarfs on a row with armor. I'm having allergies this time of year right now. Let's go ahead and get Bloodthirst going. Since he's not removing these engines, let's just not worry about boosting, playing into a tall punish. The last thing we want is him to be able to take a nice tall punish and beat us on even. Okay. He has decided to do that. We see Xavier Moran come down. We take off his armor, so he is not getting a boost this turn. We do have a 2-point, so we could pull that out. Now, as we see on our Blood Eagle, it's 7 provisions or less, so we could pull out Sigvault for that and keep armor off of dwarfs. Also, don't mind denying him that card, or that extra rowdy dwarf. Dwarf, as I'm liking to pronounce it, apparently. So next turn we have 2 points of ping damage, and that can activate our Donar. Okay, he is going for his defender, which is probably smart for him, though, yeah, round 1, kind of rough for us to have to deal with a defender. Looks like we're going to end up going kind of to either going deep or passing on even, which I'd rather not do. So I'd rather make a higher tempo play than that. All right, we're going to go ahead and put our stratagem down. Okay, he's protecting it a little bit. That's smart. Okay, and he's going to get a boost with his resilience unit. That's good for him. 2 points of boost. We're just a little bit shy of beating that. He is going to boost himself 1, which makes it a tie. Which I don't know if I like a tie here. But I also don't want to lose uneven. And be playing into resilience at that point. So, Defender's out, which is nice in one aspect of this. So I will take that pass. Hopefully he's not going for the even cards tie. Oh, he is going to take the tie. All right. So a lot of his value is going to come from stacking his dwarves, and using that row to get good points out of, I forget what they're called, but he's got some 4 provision cards that boost themselves by the amount of dwarfs on a row. I think we got to find something slightly better than this. Oh, it's not better. Okay. Well, I can remove some armor. Okay, just launching straight into that. That is one way to go. And I don't have Champion's Charge, so I cannot kill it. Dang. Yeah, looks like we lose this one. Unfortunate. Man. Might have to record another one. Damn it. Missing good cards feels bad. We can get some lucky pings here. All we need is one at the top and we can get a good gold out. But if I don't, I mean, this is another good reason that Vabjorn would be excellent in this deck. And I want to get it as soon as I can. Well, we take the armor off of him. And we do get a point for our great sword. So, yeah, if we had Champion's Charge here, we'd be in business. Jesus, never punished. All right. We didn't get a chance to set up a raider either. So, not looking too hot. Runestone. Wow. What do we got here? That could be a lot of damage with the leader. Cat Witcher. I'm going to kill that. Because I'm not really sure how that interacts with the tokens that I'm going to put down on that row. And actually, I'm not even sure I'm going to put down tokens. I want to put down the tokens on this row just because it blocks up that row and prevents him from having dwarf value, but yeah, being down by 11 does not feel great. Okay. He's doing that. Okay, he's doing it that row. So we have 6 cards, so this is going to clog the rest of that row. We can remove 1 point of armor, so that's not going to boost each turn. We have our bloodthirst, so we can just take this wherever. I think we get the most value out of this guy. Cool. So we remove, I know we're not getting a lot of points out of that, but we're removing the armor off of Brewer, which means he's not going to do his job anymore. He's decided he's just taken off the rest of the year. I'm hilarious. Dad jokes, guys. Dad jokes. Okay, good. We did brick Barclay. That's good. We're going to throw down the Skjall, continue to keep this row blocked up. Then we're going to finish off with Heimdall, and we actually might have pulled it off. Okay. If that's a crushing trap, that may be a Ford or a Mahakam Horn, actually. That's what I'm thinking that is. Not much to do about that except play this. It's not enough. Okay, wow. Whew. I really thought that one was done. And you know, I didn't know what he had. If he had had Zoltan's Company, it would have made more sense to take off the armor on the Brewer. As it is, he didn't have a way of putting armor on those other cards, so I really just didn't get those 5 points. So, you know, you roll the dice with these decisions. You do. Okay, yeah. I think that's good. I think we managed to upset that one. It wasn't an ideal line that he took. I mean, if I had my Champion's Charge, if I happened to run Morkvarg, he'd have been in pretty bad shape with that Brewer. Going all in right away with the Brewer. He didn't get punished immediately, but long run he just didn't have the value. And the clog play against the dwarves is is a good strategy. So that's it for this one. Looking at it, I see it's kind of like a difficult thing to try and play the starter decks as they are if you've already gotten out of like rank 25. So I'm probably going to just take a look at the starter decks and then talk about upgrades that I would do as I progress, just like I kind of did with this. So we'll just jump to the upgrade videos for the other starter decks. But if you are playing Skellige, you should be good to go, and you should have a nice clear path as you progress towards pro rank for upgrading your lists, crafting new legendary cards. And yeah, good luck. We'll see you next time. Also check out our Twitch. We have Zach of Rivy on Twitch and Twitter. So see you soon.